Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is a technical analysis update of 4 stocks. We're going to look at Valero, Whole Foods, Solarcity, and Tesla. And we won't spend much time on Whole Foods because we've been reviewing it. We've got a trade idea that we've been in on it for a while. So let's start off with Valero. And because, the last time I looked at Valero, it was July 24th. Okay, so I'm going to focus on the daily chart this time. And on the next update in probably a week and a half to 2 weeks from now, I'll look at the weekly chart also. But we're going to focus just on the daily. Now, the last time, let me see, I listened back and so I could remember exactly what I was saying last time. And I talked about the 233-day moving average in here, this light green line, and how I thought we could get support, and also this head and shoulders projection. Projected down to here. We had this trend line, so I really thought we were going to get support in here, 47, 46. And when we looked at the indicators, we were getting support on 2 out of the 3 indicators. The RSI did not show the divergence, but the other 2 did. Okay, so and so where is July 24th when I was talking about this? Right here. Okay, so this is where I was talking about it, and I said, quote, getting bullish divergence on DI minus, strength coming in, 46 to 48 range at least, and thought we could get a bounce. So now we're getting the bounce, and we've now closed. We got closes above the 10. The 10 has rallied above the 21, and it's rallying back. So the real question is, where are we going with this? And, really it's a little unclear. We've got this big gap in here. It could be going up, trying to close that gap. It could be going higher. It's a little unclear. I mean, let's take a look at the indicator here again. We're not getting any divergence here over the short term last week or two that's saying that this move looks like it's ending. And one other possibility, I'm going to get rid of this head and shoulders projection right now. Just get rid of that. Yeah, we had support, but I think the trend line will probably come in too. So right now, the other possibility that's going on, I see, is we could have, this could be forming a right shoulder. Let me just throw this out there. That we could have some, bigger top that's going on. That's always a possibility, and that we could be forming something that where this comes up. If I do a parallel line in here, create a parallel line, move the parallel line up to the top, assuming I can grab it, up to the top of the left shoulder, okay, and then let me make this dotted so it's not too annoying. And so this would then be a projection as to where a right shoulder could come up to. And then it's interesting that that would also exactly close the gap that was made back here on June 25th. So that's a real possibility in terms of a short-term tactical target, in terms of something that we can look to see if it develops. I'm not in this right now. The other thing is to look and see, okay, what's a retracement of this move here? And 61.8% is right in here, just a little bit above 54. So to get to here would be a much deeper retracement. You just never know. So right now I'm going to go ahead and, let's just throw on in here that possible shoulder. We're going to put that over here. So, that could be what's going on. And actually that's, we'll have to look to see. All right, that's my best assessment of Valero. Let's move on. So we have gotten our bounce. The real question is, how much of a bounce further are we going to get? And we're just going to have to watch to see. That's my scenario. Whole Foods. Okay, Whole Foods, let me see, I think my quote-unquote, what I said in the last video on the 24th, again, it was on the same day as Valero. I said, I think we are about to rally. Still thinking 43 for a target, and Yeah, maybe, and then getting ready for a bounce. So here we are. Where's the 24th? So here's the 24th, and I said I think we are getting ready to rally. The other thing I noted was that this trend line was very sharp, downward trend line, downward sloping, and that if you gotta move up off of this break, it might not be a strong one. You need something a little more, a little flatter trend line to get some power behind it. So now we've gotten some of these sharp moves, and I think we got in, I can't remember, I think we got in right around here on this date with calls. And so that's where we're currently in. And what I'd love to see right now as this is rounding up and trying to, and we had a lot of divergence on the indicators. Okay, I remember we talked about that. That's why I kept thinking that this fifth wave down here was the last wave. We were getting divergence on all the indicators. Everything was bullish for a turn. Okay, so now the interesting thing that's going to be to watch is, are we getting, is there a possible, cup and handle type thing that then, it goes up. And of course, my first target was here, as I mentioned last time. My next target would be closing the gap. Okay, so that's my best shot, and it hasn't really changed a whole lot. I mean, that's where we're in, so I'm going to stick with that. All right, the next one we're going to look at is an update on Solarcity. Okay, last time on Solarcity, I had this trend line. I had it green for breaking it, and I thought I was talking, when was it? 27th is when I did the update. So right in here, this was the last day on the chart at the time. And I said, I thought that we were 5 waves up in here, or the 5th wave. And I said, if we break, I said maybe 5 wave completed, thought 74 might be the high. And you know what? We had one close above 74 since then. Okay. Now, it wasn't the high in terms of the move. Now, it's interesting. I said if this line breaks, the next threshold would be 61.8%. And that would equal 81 to 81.5. Well, it broke on this little rally and it popped all the way up, but it only went to 79.4. Now, what was I talking about? What I was trying to do was I was measuring 0 to the end of 3 and pulling it back to the bottom of 4 and saying, well, where, if 38.2 wasn't the top, 61.8% for the top of wave 5 was possibility. We didn't quite get there. We got into that zone. And so now it looks to me like 5 minor waves up and a first intermediate wave. And so now what I'm expecting that we're in is in an intermediate wave 2 for a pullback. So the real question is, how far does it pull back? Does it pull back to the 55, back down here to the 233? The bottom of 4, and again, the second waves typically are deeper, so we're just going to have to watch to see. And that's my best take. I mean, overall, I think the chart is bullish, and right now I think we're in a 3rd primary wave up. It's just a matter of, getting what looks like a new corrective wave completed for a rally to the upside. So right now, I would not be looking to try to play this short. I'd be looking for a setup to play it long. I don't see it right now. Okay, and the last one we're going to take a look at is Tesla. Now, Tesla, again, I was counting that this top was the end of a primary wave 1 up. Let me just show all the waves. Tesla's had one heck of a move, okay? And I thought we had 5 waves up. I thought we had a large dynamic wave 3, which typically wave 3 is very strong. This is very tough in here. This whole sideways choppiness from here to here. And so this was my best assessment. When you get a vertical like this, it's typically a wave 3 of some kind. Then we got 4. And here's 5. We were getting divergence between here, which led me to believe that this was 5. Okay, so now back to the top. The challenging part here is what's going on here, and I still believe that we're in some kind of corrective action. I mean, a lot of people are bullish; they're thinking 300, and they may be right. I'm not saying I'm 100% perfect. It's just the way, you know, I'm not 100%. I mean, nobody's ever right all the time. So I'm just trying to create the scenarios to say, okay, well, this is, I think we got 5 waves up here, completing wave 5. I think we're chopping back down here to wave to A. We've pulled back in what I think is B, and it's possible 1, 2, 3 waves. You could count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something going on like that. But this is slightly overlapping in here, okay, between this wave and this wave. Very small overlap, but it is overlapping. The other thing I want to point out on this is that from this point to this point on the trading, we are getting divergence on the demand index, on DI+, on the RSI, and even on the shorter term move in here between this move and the end over the last, let's take a look at it and I'll blow it up. So what I'm talking about is all the indicators are showing divergence from this point to up into here, which means this last leg is not confirmed by the indicators, which also leads me to believe that this has a really good chance of being the top of this move. Now I've got this trend line in here that I'd look to see if it starts to turn and roll over, it breaks this trend line, then we're going to be on down to wave C, or be in wave C as it turns and rolls over. Now the minor divergence I was talking about is in here, between here and here over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Now, today is Friday, August 15th. So we all know it's August 15th and it's midday. It's actually just a little after 12 noon here in the Dallas area time. Tesla today is down right now. It's at 260. So it's down 1.38. So it's right at 260, and the high and low today 62 to 58.5. So it's in this, you know, really tight little range in here, okay, today. So we're just kind of going sideways. So okay, if the scenario is correct, then where is C? Okay, so let's look at that. So if we go from the beginning of A down to the end of A, go back to what could be the end of B, and then we say C will equal A at 100% here at what is that? See if I can look at it. I've got a little window over here off to the side to keep this out. It's around 177, 178, okay? And if it sometimes, a lot of times it'll go beyond that. So if it goes beyond that, then I would be looking at 138.2 as my next number, and that would be a lot further down, okay? So my best estimate, and that's close to the beginning of A, or the end of A, I'm sorry, 177. So that would be my target. I would say 177. If this rolls over and then breaks this trend line, I would say 177 is the target. And so this is my best scenario at the moment, and today is August 15th. So we'll see how it plays out. All right, this is Joe for Beyond the Chart. If you felt like this video was helpful, please share it on social media. And if you're not a subscriber, just click on the little red box and subscribe. If you're watching this anywhere else besides my website, head on over to joehenches.net right there. And check it out. We got a lot of things over there going on. We got a lot of videos over there too, and a lot of posts, and browse through a lot of the posts I've had out for about a year, or a little bit over a year. So, all right, thanks, and we'll see you on the next video.